Turn it up. It's The Record Machine with your host, Jimmy Hall.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the band Crash Midnight, singer Shaun Soho to the program.
Hey, James, it's Shaun. How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. How you doing, Shaun?
Not too bad. Busy fucking day. I'm recording demos for a pretty well-known band that I can't quite tell the name to anyone yet, but it's a big band of the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah? How long you been working on that for?
We're friends with the guitarist in the band, so I've been working on it for the past 2 months or so. They needed some help writing and some stuff like that, so I have to wait for them to announce it before I can officially announce it, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Where you calling from?
Las Vegas. Sunny, fun Las Vegas.
Oh, you're in Vegas, huh?
Yeah. We moved out here from Boston about 4 years ago.
Wow. Boston guy, huh? You a baseball fan?
You know, I was when I was a young kid, I worked security there for a couple summers and kind of had my fill of the stadium.
Yeah.
And then we ended up, when we formed the band, we were living almost directly across from the Sitco sign. And it was just, everybody that goes to those games, it's like their Mardi Gras, but when you live there and everybody's just puking all over and fighting all over the place, you kind of like, nothing against the Red Sox, but you start to have an aversion to when it's game day there. And I think you kind of transfer that onto the team.
Yeah.
Whether justified or not. But I love it when they win. So
yeah, that's pretty funny. So you're living in Vegas now full time, huh?
Yeah. We relocated the whole band out here. Basically, it's actually funny. Your name is my younger brother's name too, James Michael. And he went by Bo, and he was our original bass player.
Uh-huh.
And then our lead guitarist, Alex Donaldson. And the three of us formed the band. Bo didn't make it out here to Vegas. He ended up having a kid and buying a house and getting married all in like the span of about a month and a half. And that was about it for him. But we used to, back in the day, I thought it was funny when I was looking at it because I didn't see your middle name there before. I was like, man, what we used to do to kind of give ourselves a degree of separation, as I'm sure you know with like crazy people in the music industry, there's always somebody like trying to get you to do something ridiculous and then they get upset if you don't want to do it or whatever. So
right.
We came up with a fictitious manager called James Michaels. And James Michaels used to be the bearer of bad news, whether it was like an audition didn't make it, we were replacing a member, or whether it was like, yeah, no, we're not going to take that gig for that money. It was always on James Michaels. And then it turns out James Michaels ends up being a real guy, writing and singing for 6 a.m. and all that stuff.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was just I don't know, some funny stuff that's happened along the way. We had a lot of those weird, like, coincidence things that you're like, how the hell did that happen?
Uh-huh. How long you guys been a band?
Let's see. We, I guess you could technically say late 2004 we started.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Every band and artist is influenced by someone. Who would you say some of yours are?
It's all over the map. There's almost two phases of that, I guess. So when we first started out, it was very cut and dry. I was much more like the classic rock guy, the Rolling Stones, Aerosmith, that kind of stuff, Guns N' Roses. Mm-hmm. Our lead guitarist Alex at the time was he was into a lot of the more East Bay punk type of stuff, and then my brother Bo was into a lot more of the New York punk type of stuff, and it was just kind of a collection of all that. So you had like the old cool bluesy riffs and stuff, but you had a lot more of a punk edge to the delivery and lyrical content. Mm-hmm. And then as it went on, I think we all kind of started like bastardizing each other's influences and introducing each other to other things. And now I kind of feel like, we still do have a lot of those. Like you can name almost any classic rock band and we probably rip something off. But there's, everyone from in the punk circuit, from I guess like New York Dolls to Hanoi Rocks to even Pop, Dead Boys. There's a ton of punk stuff that we will go ahead and get influenced by like Leonard Cohen or Warren Zevon and stuff like that. So it really is a pretty big swath. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because we get so much that we sound like somebody, but it's always interesting who they hear. It's like, oh, you kind of sound like Alice Cooper, or you sound like Buck Cherry, or you sound like some band that I hadn't even heard of before.
Right.
And, I always kind of take it as a compliment. If we sound like a ton of bands and maybe we just kind of sound like ourselves, you can see a lot of other bands in it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was reading up on you guys on your website, and, you guys got some pretty cool quotes here. I mean, the next Guns N' Roses, this band could be the next Aerosmith of our generation. What's it like reading stuff like that, hearing people, comparing you to such legends?
It's cool. I would say from everyone that's a positive reference. We've had plenty of references when we first started out that it was like they're like an Aerosmith Jr. or like a Guns N' Roses Jr. So the comparisons are great when they're in that light, mm-hmm. and then you kind of take it to heart a little bit more when it's used as something maybe against your sound or it's sounding like too derivative. But the thing is we kind of wear our influences on our sleeves. Like we take everything that we like and we roll it all up into every song that we do. So, you'll hear, our next song, there was I guess it's not our next song, it's our song coming out that we're working on right now that comes out at the end of this year. But there's like a very obscure Eagles song that the outro is kind of a nod to. And it's, mm-hmm. We'll just grab anything we think is cool and slap it all together and kind of come up with influences that way. And I think it's great that, hey, everybody does sound like somebody, but at least we sound like somebody good. So
Right.
I'll take that.
Like I said, they said this band could be the Aerosmith of the next generation. I think that, I mean, you can't even get a bigger compliment from that, especially being from Boston, right?
Oh, definitely. And it's again, when you come in through stuff, it's like you're always hoping that you're going to put something together that people want to listen to in the first place, and then secondarily, they can go categorize whatever they think it sounds like. But I think, for us, we try not to read too much into the headlines. As I said, sometimes they're positive, sometimes they're negative. Thankfully, we've got a lot more positive than negative, especially recently. But, you don't want to get too far ahead of yourselves. You still want to try to, make sure that you're writing for the project and not lose touch to the things that drove the creativity of the project at the beginning. And I think that's been something that I've seen a lot, from artists as they get more comfortable, more established, all that, that music starts to suffer. And we've done a really good job. Maybe it was because we came up with so much material back in the day when there were 5 of us living in a 2-bedroom apartment. But I think we still do right from that same perspective. We're not talking about, bank accounts and houses that we're living in.
Right.
We're talking, we're talking about, real experiences or things that were inspired by real situations that we went through as a band. And I think that means more to us on stage too, because you get up there and if you're just performing something that's kind of not about anything, but, that kind of truck commercial rock, I think it's a lot tougher to feel in any sort of like visceral context, but when you actually are thinking about the situation that inspired that song while you're singing or performing that song, it drives a lot of the energy and I guess a lot of the moments on stage with us.
Of course. You got a brand new single out, Nothing to Lose. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, Nothing to Lose was a title for one of the very first songs that we had, and we ended up scrapping it because it just the entire direction of it didn't really work, when we got to album time. So we put that one on the back shelf. And then I ended up writing a interesting riff off it that I still feel like feels almost like an AC/DC riff, but the other guys think it's kind of like an Aerosmithy thing or whatever. But hey, again, even in the band, we can't decide what we sound like.
Right.
So yeah, no, it ended up being really cool. And our drummer John came up with a great beat for it, and then just like any other Crash Midnight song, whatever the initial like thrust of the song was, or whatever I brought to the table with, it always ends up getting mangled and changed around into something that inevitably sounds like us. And that's kind of what happened with it. And the song is kind of, I tried to span it from a lyrical standpoint, tried to span it from, just like I said, those early days, going back to that with some of the, some of the relationships or some of the ridiculous things we got ourselves into in the early days, and then all the way up to present. So it's, it's not very, it's not particularly streamlined linearly like that. Like, hey, we started here and now we're here. But I will say that it starts off from a very raw point and ends up with a reference to the 1978 Trans Am that I'm driving now. So
nice.
It does really run the gamut.
Pretty cool, man. Will there be a new album anytime soon? Yeah.
So the way that we've decided to work things is we're kind of going back to the old Elvis days of releasing singles.
Okay.
Because there's very little from our standpoint incentive to release 8 to 10 songs right now at a whack and only have one press cycle. We found that it's a lot better, especially having such close access to the studio right down the street here, that if we concentrate on one song at a time and then create it as if it's a single, then we're not doing any filler for an album. It's just single upon single. And the game plan is once we have 7 singles out, then the 8th single will come out as part of an album that wraps the previous 7 singles into it.
That
so
makes sense.
I think we're at what are we at? 5 singles with this release. Our fall release will make 6, and then our the release at the end of this year will make 7, and then top of next year we're looking to release an album with all those wrapped in it.
That's awesome, man. You guys toured North America with acts like Seven Dust and like you mentioned before, Pretty Reckless. What's it like working with guys like that?
They were all different. I mean, it's I'll say this: you never really know what to expect from a band from what they portray themselves like, in public. And some people that you think would just be like, the most hard-headed, tough people to talk to, get along with, are some of the nicest and most, reserved when you meet them. Oh my God. I was expecting this to be, a bar fight every night. And vice versa. Some of them are a little bit more wild when when you meet them in person. We had a great time on that tour. I mean, it was on both of those tours. I've never seen so many corn stalks as driving in the upper Midwest. Mm-hmm. But it was a really fun time to get out there and actually see the reaction of such large crowds in such, big, important venues. We were winning over crowds of, well over 1,000 almost every night. And it's very validating, I think, to see things that these people have, the majority of them have never even heard before. And by the end of most of the songs, they're singing right along with. And I think that really helps galvanize you as a band, help support that, you're doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm. You've headlined a lot of the major clubs in Las Vegas, too. What's it like playing big shows like that in Vegas?
It's wild. I mean, Vegas is like no other city. We're having a discussion with the club downtown that we have our residency at right now, Fremont Country Club. I was talking with some of the owners, and they're just like, it's so hard to predict Vegas because any given night there could be something that's happening in Vegas that draws your entire crowd out. You could book something 6 months out, and all of a sudden, Aerosmith announced its residency, and all those people that were going to come to your show are over at that Aerosmith show. Wow. So we've thankfully been very lucky with everything that we've done, where we've never really had too much of that problem. But it's been very cool to be able to say, hey, listen, we played the House of Blues, we headlined the House of Blues and played a bunch of shows at the House of Blues, and we're playing the House of Blues a week from Saturday to do the grand reopening of it with Steel Panther.
Yeah, we were speaking about that in Messenger last week. I was just going to ask you about that. How did that come about? How did you get to hook up with the guys from Steel Panther? I mean, that's going to be pretty cool.
Well, so what ended up happening out here is we did some volunteer work for the House of Blues Music Forward Foundation, and through that we ended up becoming very good friends with a lot of the guys from Live Nation, and they've really looked out for us. Paul and Max book House of Blues and Brooklyn Bowl, and they really had our back, and they're very good friends, and to the point where we were all talking and meeting up over the pandemic when obviously it was very scary for anybody in that industry when all of a sudden Live Nation just shut down. But we've had a really good personal relationship, I think, with those guys, and they look out for us, and when there's an opportunity to put us in front of a big swath of people, they do. And we've gotten to open up for Buck Cherry over at Brooklyn Bowl. We did a wildly sold out show with Tesla.
Nice.
And House of Blues. This will be the second time we played with Steel Panther. And what's another kind of it just makes us feel really good that this town has embraced us is this is the second venue that we're playing the reopening after the pandemic. We the venue that we have our residency at Fremont Country Club in downtown Las Vegas, which is pretty much the biggest independent venue downtown. Mm-hmm. They asked us to play the official reopening, so we headlined that. And then less than 2 months later, we're being asked to play the reopening of House of Blues. And it just really, really underscores, that we've been doing the right thing out here. I think with, the shows we're playing, the people that, that we're meeting and all that kind of stuff. It's just really validated that the fan base out here is so strong.
Makes it easier, right? When you're in Vegas and you bounce around to different venues and your whole band's there, correct?
Absolutely. And we've all got a part of our business model right now, because we're trying to put out so much material, is we're really pumping the brakes on the actual touring. And also because everything is so up in the air with lockdowns and capacities and what's going to happen in the fall and all of that, we've kind of decided that, hey, there's over 100,000 people that come in every weekend to Las Vegas. And if you keep playing here, the tour kind of comes to you. And we've kind of been doing, it doesn't always work out exactly this way, but it's pretty much like a headline show and then a major support show and then another headline show and a major support show. And it just keeps ping-ponging back and forth with stuff like that. And it's just been really cool. It's been a great time to be out in Vegas and be coming up as a rock band out here.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's the date of this show?
It's July 3rd.
Wow. Nice.
Saturday, July 3rd. Yeah, it's a big 4th of July weekend.
That's pretty cool, man.
Which is crazy because we just did a headline show last weekend. So.
Oh, where was that at?
That was at Fremont Country Club.
Oh, nice. So you're making your rounds out there then.
We're doing a lot. We're going to try to slow down a little bit after this show because we really need to finish this next single we're working on. Mm-hmm. And also, I know that there's going to be a lot of shows coming up here in the fall, and we want to kind of circle the wagons with everybody that we know and make sure that we're choosing the best opportunities for this fall, because it's, now that they've released, you know, the ability for people to go out and tour and do all that, there's going to be a ton of shows coming to town. And, you know, and I know we're going to be asked to be part of some of them, and want to make sure that we make the right choices on that.
Nice. Is there anything that you want to mention that we didn't talk about today?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we, in kind of along the lines of how great this town has been in embracing us, our bass player has been working down at a great little rock and roll bar on Fremont Street, only a couple doors down from the venue that we headline, called Corduroy. Mm-hmm. And Corduroy is announcing in the next couple of weeks that they're going to be adding a Crash Midnight signature cocktail to the menu.
Very
and
cool.
We're going to be doing a whole bunch of very cool promotions. It's a cocktail based off of one of our favorite cocktails in Boston, a whiskey smash, which is sort of like a whiskey mojito.
Okay.
You know, like bourbon, muddled mint, lemon, and some simple syrup poured over ice. But these guys, Corduroy is a very cool mixture of, you know, being like a non-stuffy bar, mm-hmm. but very high-end cocktails.
Sounds good.
So they took it and they're adding, you know, a little bit of the homemade ginger beer that they put into their Moscow Mules, and they toss some bitters in there and the charcoal additive for flavor. And so it ends up being this jet black drink.
Wow.
And we got together and we got these clear skull glass mason jars that they're going to be serving it in. And it just looks amazing. You just got this black skull with like a sprig of mint sticking out of it.
Sounds
and
awesome.
It tastes incredible. So we've been trying to work that out at a couple different bars, and then, you know, just with the pandemic and everything, there was a lot of changing of staff across everywhere, as you can imagine, when things had to close down. So it was great to finally get, you know, one that, as things reopened, that we could talk to about doing something like this. And it's going to be a great promotion. We're going to work on, if you buy one of the drinks, you get a free ticket to the next show of ours. It's right down the street. We're going to do a couple other really cool things, including our release party. We're going to do a little release party down there on Monday when the song comes out. And it's just, you know, it's another case of just this town supporting us. You know, some stuff that I don't know if we could have gotten in any other town, but Las Vegas is just so always ready for the next opportunity.
Yeah, and I think where you are is better than LA, you know.
That's why everyone keeps coming here from LA.
You know,
it's so funny. Like, everyone is moving out here in the music industry, especially. Everyone is moving out here.
It's either where you are or they're going to Nashville.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Nashville's really cool too. We toured through there a bunch of times, but man, like being able to compare them now from having been to both for a decent amount of time, it's just, there's nothing like Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. Las Vegas is a party 24/7, you know, maybe not for the last year, but it's back now.
Yeah, it's
and
back.
It's, you know, and they're just so ready to embrace it. I mean, we're friends with so many of the program directors on the local network affiliates out here, and they support us and put us on TV, radio stations. Like, it's very cool. We're going to have a lot of really cool stuff coming up this fall that we'll be announcing with some more even bigger partnerships. So it's been very exciting for us, and it's been very humbling, I think, how many people have reached out to support us.
Awesome. Do you have a website you'd like to promote?
Yeah, it's crashmidnight.com. Mm-hmm. And then you can, of course, reach us at Crash Midnight on every social media platform under the sun. And we've been doing a lot of work on our Spotify and Apple pages too. So you can always check us out, stream us on there.
And you're constantly updating, right, the site, so we can find out the latest news and when the next song's going to come out and stuff like that.
Absolutely. And if you follow the band on either of those, you'll get first access to the new singles, and you'll get the alerts and all that stuff. So we're on target to have a new single out every quarter from now until they stop us. So
that's cool.
There's going to be a lot of good stuff.
Well, Shaun, I want to thank you for coming on the show, man. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely, my man. Let's stay in touch, because we got a lot of stuff coming up in very few short months here.
Definitely. Always welcome to come back on. Just give me a call or shoot me a text message, all right?
I appreciate it, James. You have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take care, brother. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.